Hello, Dumelang, and welcome to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. This one is an episode with a difference, guys. What's happening is that I've been invited as a keynote speaker. So I've been invited by Botho University to come and give a keynote here. We're speaking to a group of young entrepreneurs, student entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, people who are interested in this entrepreneurship space. So the theme of the talk is starting small and dreaming big, and in the context of the bigger picture of Botho University, where their main ethos is vibrance, innovation, and impact. So I've tried to blend these two concepts. It's also a special day in that it's an entrepreneurship day where they're invited to come and display their wares, to show off their businesses, their services, their products. So it is going to be very interesting day indeed. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to delivering something really special for you. Come with me.
Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Dumelang. Hey, what a thrill, guys. It's a joy to be with you this morning. Yes, I've also written some notes, madam. Yeah. The Vice Chancellor, faculty, the students, and fellow entrepreneurs. Let me start off by getting you to participate with the speech by turning to your neighbor and saying to them, congratulations, you are a successful entrepreneur.
Congratulations, you're a successful entrepreneur.
Just turning up, bagaitsu, making it, taking that small step, that is a mark of success. It is an honor to join you at this market day. I grew up in these very streets of Gaborone at a time when all we had was dusty grounds. I also grew up in the cattle post, where we lived in an atmosphere with an aroma filled with roasted maize. When shopping malls did not even exist those days. I know it's hard for some of you to believe, but the Vice Chancellor will remind you that those days what used to happen is if we need to do any major shopping, you literally drive down south about 85 kilometers to a place called Mega City in Mabato to do your shopping. It was only around 2002 when things transformed dramatically, when we had Game City, we had Riverwalk, we had Molapo Crossing and Jamali's Mall. All four of them just emerged at the same time. And that's when things changed, literally. I'm proud to have come from very humble beginnings. Cattle post, with those round huts, kokanye, komakatanyane, komahumalebe, and to be here today and have people calling me a serial entrepreneur, running in excess of 13 businesses at the moment, and still growing. It is a source of pride for me that in the mid-90s, I was the only tenant in my own house that I had bought, and I literally had one unit. Today, I'm proud to say we have in excess of 450 units across the country in terms of tenants. And we are able to trade in millions. And we are able to trade in millions in terms of turnover per month. And sometimes I have to pinch myself that it started with a mere 100 puller, which I went to the African Mall. Sometimes I just drive there, past there where the Barclays Bank used to be, where I opened the first account with 100 puller. Today, we're now talking about a multi-million puller enterprise. And this was not because I had more resources, bagaetso. It was because I was lucky enough to have vision, to have discipline, and above all, to have God's grace. Today, we all share a common story. What is that common story? We can all share that common story of starting small, dreaming big, and building lasting businesses. It is a story that is common because all you have to do is to give yourself permission to believe that you too can do it. The only difference is that you are going to write a number of chapters in this story. You are right now still writing the prologue or the introductory chapter. But started you have. Give yourselves a round of applause for starting. I'm here to share with you my story, but at the same time, I'm here to challenge you to carry your dreams even further. You see, stories never end, bagaetso. Each generation must pick up the baton. Now it's your turn. Let's talk about how you too can do it. So I'm going to share in this address 10 lessons from my own life, from my own experience, that I think we can apply in order to effect change and to effect meaningful change in our lives as entrepreneurs. To effect what? Meaningful change. Okay, no, I was just checking if you are still with me. My first point is this, first lesson, is to start humble, but to dream big. Start humble, but to dream big. It sounds like a cliche, I know. It sounds like everybody who goes up in front of an audience talks about dreaming big. But it's an important thing to repeat, and it's worth repeating. Big dreams are born from small beginnings. I already gave you an example of 100 pula and an example of starting as the only unit and multiplying from there. Our hosts here at Botho University, and I'm very proud to be associated with them because we have many connections historically. They also started from very humble beginnings. I remember when Mr. Rajaram was encouraging me to start my own business. Mr. Rajaram is the original founding father of Botho University. And at the time, I was petrified because I was leaving Minchin and Kelly, an established law firm, to start on my own. But I'm not going to bore you with the details. Suffice it to say, there's the book if you're interested. I've written a whole book about my life. It's only $350 where I share my story. But what's my point? I started small. We started with a tiny law firm, but I always carried a bigger vision. I already knew then that I want to be rich. I had this crazy fascination. There was no evidence of this being possible, but I said to myself when I started, one day I'll be a millionaire. I'll have $1 million in cash. And indeed happened in the mid-90s. Just through persistence and perseverance and through saving, a culture of saving. So number one, start humble and dream big. Number two, scale smart, not fast. I think I saw this somewhere. Scale smart, not fast. I think that's part of your ethos here. And one of my favorite inspirational speaker by the name of Jim Rohn used to like saying, and he's one of my favorites. One of his favorite saying was, listen, it's a choice between two easies. It's easy not to, but it's also easy to. So it is a choice between two easies. It's too easy just to settle for mediocrity. It's too easy to settle for poverty. The only thing about poverty, it's very, very uncomfortable. But at the same time, success it's easy. Why is it easy? It's easy because it's a series of small incremental steps that lead to success. Sometimes you have to ask for yourself. So growth must be planned. It's not random. Each new venture must stand on its own, reinvest, study, then scale up step by step. This is what I tell my mentees. Some of you may not know that I have a mentorship program. One mentorship program I have is on real estate. The other one is on entrepreneurship. But the first thing that I focus on with my mentees, and I've been doing this for the last 6 years, is that start small, then scale step by step. Even at Angel Network Botswana, me and members of this university have started an organization called Angel Network Botswana, which has been running for the last 6 or 7 years. We invest in entrepreneurs, young startup entrepreneurs, but the thing we are looking for is two things we're looking for. Are you investable? In other words, do you have a structure? Are you serious? Are you teachable? And then more importantly, is the business you want to start tech-enabled and scalable? So we're looking at investability and scalability. So it's step by step. That's number 2. Number 3, fuel your journey with passion. I know it's another cliche. I'm going to hit you with a lot of cliches. Let me ask for forgiveness in advance. It's another cliche about being passionate about what you do. Yes, you need to start your journey with passion. Warren Buffett even has a phrase of saying that he tap dances to work. And I've started learning how to tap dance as I go to work. Because it doesn't mean tap dancing literally, but it means when you get to that work environment, considering the impact you are having in society, the changes you are making, and the lives you are impacting in terms of employment and the people that you are empowering. Presently, we have employed in excess of 200 people. It's not much, but the whole idea that I don't want to disappoint this, and it's knowing that each family probably feeds 5 mouths, and you multiply that, you see that you are feeding well over 1,000 people. That causes you to go there and tap dance to work. So fuel your journey with passion. Love what you do. Wake up excited. I have a little trick. Do you want to know the little trick that I use to get to, it's always, in the morning, it always feels like you've woken on the wrong side of the bed. I used to think it's just me, but I just know there's some drowsiness. When that alarm bell goes off, you want to just smash it, that kind of feeling. And I've discovered a little technique, entrepreneurs, and it works. Try it. I get up, and then I do a minimum of 100 push-ups, whether I feel like it or not. And then once I do those push-ups, and then after a little routine of walking around the swimming pool and so on and so forth, I jump into the shower and I open that water cold, full blast, and I walk in. Try it. It works like clockwork. And when I'm in that water, I'm making my declarations. I'm powerful. I'm unstoppable. I'm the great Mogobe. I can do anything. And by the way, you need to tell yourself that before the world can tell you that. So it's a little trick. It's between the two of us. I get it. But you get excited. You derive that passion. And you are able to energize yourself and others. Entrepreneurship, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Okay? So you need to stay healthy. You need to stay focused. You need to stay curious and be positive in your outlook. So you have to celebrate small wins, lift others with your energy. So that is very, very important. That's why among the 4 statements we make with the nuggets, we say we infuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower. All those are powerful words. They involve energy, and entrepreneurship requires energy. So, ntitela ndohofi before I move to the next one. Next point I want to make is that you have to inspire through action, not words. The one thing I can say without any fear of contradiction, about the founders of this university is that, yes, they speak. They're soft-spoken, they speak, they're very effective speakers. But the inspiration that we derive from them and what they do is through the actual action of what they do. And by the way, let me take this opportunity to congratulate them and to congratulate Botho for formally opening the campus, the university campus in Lesotho. It was very impressive. I was following it on social media. So they inspire through action, not words. People don't follow speeches, bagaetsu. You are not going to remember anything that I've said here. You're going to remember how I made you feel. I got that from Maya Angelou. People don't care what you say, what you did, but they're only interested in how you make them feel. So I'd like to hope that I'm making you feel warm, that warm, fuzzy feeling inside, the feeling that you too can execute, you too can do it. Start something real, right? Share your journey honestly. I want to encourage all of you guys who've started these small businesses. Please weaponize, or better still, utilize social media. Record your journey. Your journey is your future profit. With the tools that are available in terms of social media, as you record your presence here, your conversations with potential patrons and with potential clients, you are in fact creating and generating future profit for yourselves. Get used to that habit. So I want to encourage you. I don't see you guys with cameras, but I mean, I suppose you have those expensive, you can always use them. But I'm encouraging you to be of that mindset. I find that documenting your journey is very, very powerful in terms of growing your business. So I repeat, inspire through action and not just words. People have to see what you are doing, and let's use the tools that are available to us. Okay? Your story can ignite someone else's dream. Okay? Your story can do what? Ignite someone else's dream and empower others. So document your story. That's what I'm advising. Number 6. Empower your team and community. And I'm delighted to see that my executive assistant, Josego, is here. He's a very important member of the team. And I have the, the social media and camera team here. So it is very, very crucial that we should empower our team and our community. Success multiplies when you lift others. Okay? You need to mentor others and give others an opportunity to mentor you. And I'm sure here at Botho University, there are multiple opportunities for mentorship, which you can take advantage of. And invest in your people, because the objective is to build leaders, not just employees. Okay? We build leaders, not just employees. You want employees who can be self-starters, who can operate on their own even in your absence. So my objective, and that's what I want to emphasize on this point, is to leave a legacy bigger than your name. Okay? And I think you like this next one, which is learn, innovate, repeat. Learn, innovate, repeat. Learn, innovate, repeat. The best entrepreneurs, and if you look at the people who dominate the 500 biggest companies in the world, you'll see that that's what they live by. I mean, a lot of them, people like Jeff Bezos, will tell you that they read X number of books, a minimum of 50 books per annum. They'll tell you that they even take vacations to read, to learn, to innovate. So I learned podcasting, for instance. I had no clue when in 2019 I was with Otlhaga. Otlhaga is my second son. And I'd been talking about podcasting for a while. And he just one day woke up and said, "Let's go, Papa, let's do it." And I, reluctantly dragged my feet, and he took me to game stores around the corner here. This is 2019. And he forced me Otlaka forced me to buy a small camera. And then he said, sit down, say something. And we still have that original podcast where I just had to fumble and say, listener, dear viewer. And I've kept it there because it reminds me of how clueless I was when I started. You know, today, 6 years later, I'm now able, because of the confidence and the power of that podcast, I'm now able to go to Zambia and address 30,850 people in the Hero Stadium there in Lusaka. I'm now able to go to South Africa and address massive audiences like I did, if you follow my socials. And now my whole speaking career has exploded. I'm able to say to you, you want me to speak? Yes, I want you to speak. Sign me a check for 35,000, then I'll come and speak. And people give me a check to come and speak to them for half an hour. What does that tell you? And it started with me just being nervous, being dragged by my son to start a podcast, which was able to create a launching pad for bigger and greater things. I get it. So, learn, innovate, repeat. Stay a student. Remain a student. Part of the problem that we have is that we think that when we put away those books and when we have those pura-puras, after wearing those pura-puras at the graduation, that is the end of it. No, it isn't. The Americans have it right, Bagaitsu. The Americans remind us that these graduation ceremonies are actually commencement ceremonies. They are the start. It starts there. So my point is that you have to stay a student or become irrelevant. Remember when I said it's a choice between two easies? You become irrelevant, literally, because your learning capacity dries up and you're no longer able to have meaningful conversations with other people. You're no longer able to attract customers. You actually think you are stagnating, but you are not stagnating if you are not learning Bagaitsu. You are regressing. You are going backwards. So what is my point? My point is that stay relevant by staying a student. Who wants to hear number 8? The 8th point that I want to emphasize for you to this morning, network and collaborate. Okay? Turn to your neighbor and say, I want your business card now.
I want your business card. LinkedIn.
Yes. That's how it starts. Give me your business card now. If you don't have a business card, give me your contact so that we can collaborate and see how we can work together. It's not just by chance that you are sitting next to that person, Bagaitsu. It's an opportunity to start a collaboration. It's an opportunity to start a relationship. Okay? Whether I'm in real estate, if I tell you how some of the deals started, in the unlikeliest of places, you start with just a light conversation and somebody tells you, oh, no, but I've been meaning to, I'm looking to sell this. Oh, yeah, I need to get rid of this thing. And then that's an opportunity for you. But if you don't open your mouth, you know, I posted something on my social media profiles recently. You know what I posted? I posted, silent mouths do not get fed. How powerful is that? Isn't that profound? Silent mouths do not get fed. Literally. So you need to keep those mouths. You need to be Joe. You need to be like this. Please talking relevant things about business. So engage, connect, collaborate. Engage, connect, collaborate. Okay? Now, the point that I want to share with you, or the last but one, is face challenges with grit. There's a reason why my book is entitled Nuggets of Grit, Bagaitsu. It has been found out, even if you follow someone like Angela Duckworth. Angela Duckworth has written a book and has done a series of studies on this suspect of grit, understanding grit. What is grit? Grit is determination. Grit is never say die attitude. Grit is resilience. Grit is persistence. Grit is perseverance. That's what grit is. Some even call it the devil may care attitude, where you don't really want to hear anything. You're focused on that objective. And you adopt the mentality that the obstacle is the way. And this, by the way, is a book by a guy called Ryan Holiday. his whole ethos in that book is to say, if you encounter an obstacle, okay, if you need to apply the mentality that that obstacle is in fact your route to success. You have to decide whether you are penetrating that obstacle, you're throwing a piece of dynamite at that obstacle to blow it up, or you are removing that obstacle, or you're bringing a whole bunch of water to wash it away. You'll find a way. And as long as you appreciate that the obstacle is your way. So, face challenges with grit. Obstacles are not signs to quit. They're not. Obstacles are not signs. That mentality of, hey, you say they are la pizza, that should go. They have la pizza. You know, I heard another post recently where I said, the only place without problems and challenges is in the cemetery. Don't even think about living a problem-free life. Those problems are opportunities, Bachetsu. You don't want to behave like someone in the cemetery who is without problems. I get it. Problems are a sign. They are tests. You cannot have a testimony without a test. In the same way as you cannot have a message without a mess. Messes lead to messages. Tests lead to testimony. Lanswar. Yeah. So restructure, adapt, knowing that you need to face challenges, and challenges are in fact your way. And the people, there's even an expression about falling forward. You know, the Bible talks about how a wicked man falls once to his destruction, but a righteous person, assuming that you're a righteous person, will fall 7 times and still rise. And they'll keep rising. So I've said to my mentees, and they were horrified when I told them this, that if you give up, you're actually being wicked, according to the Bible. Don't give up. Righteousness is about standing up and again, all over and again, all over again. But before I conclude, let me just share another scripture that really speaks to this day. The scripture is from Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. Zechariah, verse 4, verse 10. It says, "Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see work begin." Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see work begin. This is why sometimes I encourage my mentees to bootstrap their businesses. What is to bootstrap? Bootstrap means don't be in a hurry to dash to the bank to look for money, especially in the early stages. Hustle. Make a plan. You don't have to rush to the bank and dash into debt. So find a way before you seek funding and tie yourself in long-term deals. And I was like that. In the interest of full disclosure, I was like that because I was petrified of debt. You can imagine, as a lawyer, I made my money through suing people. And the thought of now ending up on the other side of the table and being in debt terrified me. So it took a long time for me to get over that. But my point is that sometimes it's better to bootstrap. One of the first things that we ask you when you come to Angel Network Botswana is, how much of your own money is in this deal? You know? Because you want to see, before you ask for external money, how committed you are. Did you go and borrow your grandmother's, bungalow? Did you do something? Did you borrow from your relatives? How committed are those around you about this deal? We ask you those sort of questions before we throw money at you. Sometimes it's not always a solution to throw money at the problem. So fall forward and grow tougher. Final point now. I know some of you are getting bored with all this. I'm just concluding, right? Take action and start now. There's a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to cut a tree, to grow a tree or to plant a tree, is 20 years ago. But the second best time to plant that tree is now. Okay? Notice I'm not saying now. Okay? I want you to do like, I'm not saying now. I'm saying now. Do after me. Now. When is the best time to get started?
Now.
Because otherwise it's 20 years ago. So I'm saying ideas are cheap, execution is priceless. Okay? Register the company. Those entrepreneurs who are here, by show of hands, who is actually going to SIPA to register the company? That's a good start. It's a good start. We need more hands. Those entrepreneurs who are here, who's gone to SIPA to register a trademark of their design and their logo. You know you can trademark your logo? Okay, 2. So these are the sort of simple steps, simple little steps that demonstrate to the world your seriousness and your commitment about your company. It takes, I believe, 7 days tops online. It used to be 7 days, now it's 2 or 3 days, SIPA. 2 days to register a company on SIPA. So don't even call yourself an entrepreneur until you've registered that company, because it's easy, all right? It's easy. It's called creating an LLC. I like the way the Americans call it, an LLC. Imagine walking around, I have an LLC, man. Limited liability company. That's an entrepreneur. You can face anything. Let me try with it. You need that attitude. Problem is coming. You put it back. Because you've trained yourself. Problem comes, you deal with it on the spot. You feel like that cowboy. You feel that sense of confidence. But that comes from preparation, having that right mental attitude. So, conclusion, your time is now. Start small, scale smart, and act boldly, act decisively. Botswana needs your ideas. Your country needs you. Your business needs you. Your family needs you. And we all need you to succeed. So pick up the baton. Pick it up. Pick up the baton. Build something lasting. Build it. Together, let's spark a new era of growth. Thank you. Let's make smart happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause, guys.